And this is what this group Anonymous is protesting. They claim that the church separates family members, and there is this practice of disconnection, where if you're a member of the Church of Scientology, to the best of my understanding here on this issue, because I'm not a member and I don't fully understand it, but if you're a member of the Church of Scientology and someone in your family or a friend or your spouse is skeptical or critical of the Church of Scientology, you are supposed to disconnect yourself from that person. And Jenna Miscavige Hill, who is a niece of the church's leader, David Miscavige, says that happened to her, which is the reason she left the church a couple of years ago, and she now has a website bringing together former members of the Church of Scientology to talk about issues like this.
Well, first of all, this is a perfect example of how the internet turns things and twists things. There's no such thing as disconnection as you're characterizing it, and certainly you have to understand.
Well, what is disconnection?
Scientology is a new religion. You have the majority of Scientologists in the world; they're first generation, so their family members aren't going to be Scientologists and this kind of thing. And Scientology absolutely mandates, and it's really part of the code of being a Scientologist to respect the religious beliefs of others. So certainly someone who's a Scientologist is going to respect their family members' beliefs. And we consider family to be a building block of any society. So anything that's characterized as disconnection or this kind of thing, it's just not true. There isn't any such policy that in the church that's dictating who people should or should not be in communication with. You know, it just doesn't happen.
What specifically what you're referring to is if somebody is expelled from the church, anybody who insists on continuing to be connected to somebody who's been expelled from the church would be told that as long as they maintain that connection, they're not welcome in the church, because a church, any organization, and particularly a church like other churches, has a right to not welcome in its ranks people who are supporting or connected to people who are attacking the church and mean the church harm.
Joe Risch was declared a suppressive person and expelled from the church. But when he picked up the phone to call his children, he couldn't get through.
No response. I called again, no response. And then I realized, oh my God, here's what they did. They already had me declared a suppressive person. They told everyone else, including my children. I cried. It was sad, you know, it's my kids. But you don't do that to a parent. You don't do that. And so
I actually know Joe Risch. I remember meeting him many years ago. He was somebody that I knew personally when I first started working with the church. In fact, I had no idea he'd even been expelled from the church.
Well, that's the last time I saw her, actually.
In Australia, other families have experienced the intense pain of disconnection from their children in the church. Liz Anderson hasn't seen her eldest child Fiona since 2005, when she was posted overseas from Sydney to work in the Sea Org in Clearwater, Florida. Now all she has left are these few mementos of Fiona's childhood.
The Tigers Netball Club.
Look, she's a beautiful girl. I mean, I just, and she's mine. I don't know. They can't take the parent away. I'll try.
How painful is it for all of you that Fiona is still in the church?
Well, I love my wife dearly, and there's been many times I've seen her just so distraught at the fact that she can't have contact with her daughter.
It's a very cruel doctrine, a very cruel policy to separate family members from each other on pain of being expelled from the church.